Okay, you've got to the point where a friend is open to looking at the claims of Jesus with you. That's exciting. What do we do next? Well, you've got this little booklet, A Better Hero, with a few conversation starters from Mark's Gospel. What are some key top tips to remember as you head into that conversation? Well, beforehand, firstly, pray. Pray for good conversations which point to Jesus, and pray for eyes to be opened. Secondly, practice. Have a read through of the study in advance, get familiar with it, read it on the bus en route to the conversation, and also practice it perhaps with a Christian mate. A really good thing to do, meet up with a Christian friend and just have a go working through the study, getting familiar with it. And then during the conversation, you've arrived in the cafe, firstly, preamble. Don't be weird, start by talking about the football or about how the kids are getting on or about the TV program you watched last night. Be normal, get the conversation going, but don't faff around. You both know why you're there. They're waiting on you to kick off looking at the Bible together. If you've only got 45 minutes and you spend the first 30 minutes talking about the weather, then your preamble has become procrastination. So preamble, but then get to it. And then proceed to read. Read the passage out loud if the setting allows, but encourage them to underline bits they don't understand or to scribble down questions that they can come back to later. Proceed to read. And then as you go, presume ignorance. So begin to work through the questions provided, but assume people don't understand Bible words like sin and the temple curtain and those sorts of things. Offer simple explanations where you're able to, and ask people simple questions. And you want to be prompting Bible discussion. So try and use open questions like, what do we learn from this passage about who Jesus is? Or what do you think is the big idea going on here? Or what do you think are some of the implications about what Jesus is saying? Questions like why and what do you think are really useful in your tool belt. Good at stimulating discussion. And keep pointing people back to the Bible. I often find that the conversation can drift a bit, or the person I'm reading with can come with a bit of an agenda or think they know the answer but they're actually not getting it from the Bible. So keep asking questions and point people back to the passage. For instance, okay, that's really interesting you say that, but what does this passage say about that? That sort of thing. And then you want to provoke further thought. This is another way of saying, leave them hanging. Obviously, if they want to become a Christian there and then, don't leave them hanging. But often more time is needed, and that's why that little food for thought question is there at the bottom of the study. Just a question for people to go away and chew over. You want people to leave that conversation with a stone in their shoe about who Jesus is, something which is just going to niggle away for the rest of the week. And then all the time as you go, pray. You're doing this the whole time, just quietly in your head, praying for the Spirit's help as you try and ask people questions and help them to see Jesus. And then afterwards, you've left the cafe or wherever it is, pray again. Pray and praise God. Praise God for the opportunity to have done some seed sowing, and pray for soft hearts and for that seed not to be snatched away. And then finally, really importantly, prioritize another meeting. Get something in the diary, another conversation, a social activity, an invite to an event or a course. You're trying to keep the temperature high. Okay, so there you go. A few top tips on how to use something like A Better Hero to get our friends into the Bible and seeing Jesus firsthand. Why not pray for an opportunity to do that this week?